being someone that other people can count on, and then started to expect that of me. I ended up just completely shutting down emotionally.
Hey, Vicki, thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely. I love sharing what I've been learning and putting into practice. So thank you for allowing me to come on.
Oh, well, you get the credit because you've done amazing, and it works when you work it, and you have definitely done that. So I'll just start by kind of asking you some questions, and feel free to share anything that you think is helpful to someone or that express. But let's rewind a little bit, because I want people to kind of understand, and I want you to get an opportunity to share kind of what kind of challenges you were facing when you sought out help.
Last year had been very challenging in the sense that I had to be a caregiver for a number of people. As I went through the program, though, I realized that that was almost my whole life, being someone that other people can count on, and then started to expect that of me. So last year, I ended up just completely shutting down emotionally. And when the situation was over, I then started having all these feelings. And most of the feelings that came up were anxiety and panic attacks. And so I was, living in a frenzied state. And it was hard because I couldn't run to the caregiving role, which was more comfortable for me. And so then I was finding that it was very hard to come away from situations that shouldn't be that upsetting, but were for me.
Okay. So it was just kind of normal for you, but you become really depleted. So
Yes, very much.
can you tell me, or do you remember, maybe was there a moment where you decided needed to do something different and
Mm.
didn't want to stay stuck like that, or that it, felt urgent?
Um, it was just a routine situation where my husband and I went somewhere, and something small happened, but it really kind of sent me over the edge. And I came home and I said, I must have, I don't know, probably for 2 or 3 days, I felt really, really dysregulated. And I said to my husband, I have to do something. And at that point, I had been on a lot of medication for that, which I'm not saying that isn't helpful, but I knew long term that that is not what I wanted to do. So I wanted to learn how to have better coping skills and how to be able to regulate myself.
Oh, good. Okay. I think that's so important, because medications do sometimes change symptoms, but long term,
Mhm.
I'm saying it wasn't the answer for you. And can you tell me, like, why did you choose joyful and present? Or if you almost didn't, what would have been a hesitation that you would have had?
Um, I like the idea that you provided a step by step approach. I couldn't even imagine being able to calm at that point. So I knew it was going to be challenging, but I was really willing to do what I needed to do in order to take that first step. I tried other things, and this was the first where I just felt like I need someone to guide me in this way. And your program just provided that.
Oh, well, I love what you said about like providing the steps, because we can provide the steps, but you said you were determined, and you really did follow the steps. Can you talk about like what your results have been, or how is life different now?
Sure. Well, I noticed, first of all, the calming has allowed me to be able to have clearer thinking, not reacting, but really being able to think about my responses and how I want to present myself in my authentic way. That's something I've longed for a long time, is just be authentic but vulnerable at the same time and not be so thrown by that. And so my relationships definitely have changed. My husband and I, we have talked more in the last 3 months about deeper emotional things than we've had in years. And
Hearing that.
yeah, so it's been great. And he's always um, wants to know what I'm learning this week, so I really have a good support person there. And so I think also knowing that I don't have to fix people, um, that people can disagree with me, and that's okay. That I don't have to take care of everybody, that they have the responsibility, and then I can come alongside them
Oh,
instead of trying to fix them.
oh, that's beautiful. What has that done for your, your panic or your body? Like, how has relieving that need to fix everything and everyone around you, how has relieving that changed you?
I would say my anxiety is pretty much non existent right now. I have not had a panic attack since I started after that first week. I do have an issue that I'm working on regarding sensations. I have pain in my back, and I've had everything checked out. So I know it's more a mind body thing. And so I'm using especially like the healing home and some of the other things to decrease my pain. And I noticed significant decrease. And when I first started, I couldn't get anywhere near the healing home, the body scan, until I was calmer. And now that I'm more calm, I can start addressing this, and it's so much easier.
Oh, good. Good. So you're talking kind of about some of those things we take you through. Can you talk about like how have you found the support in the program, the
Uh,
coach?
it's been amazing. I love the Facebook group, and the coaching has been phenomenal. You always feel like someone's, right with you, going through it. If there's any questions, the questions are answered. The presentations, it always seems like when I get on one, it's exactly what I need to hear that day.
Yeah.
So I just love that. And other support in the women, just how open they've been, and showing, how vulnerable they are. Just appreciated that. And so it's just been great.
Well, you've been a great part of that too, because you are so encouraging to others. You know,
Yeah.
like we always talk about, we don't go into the story. We don't want people getting in the group and feeling, triggered or overwhelmed, but just for it to be positive and encouraging, others definitely grow from that sharing. So, yeah, I
Thank
mean,
you.
you get a lot of credit for like how you've shown up, and so that's been great. Like, what advice would you give to, people who were maybe stuck like you were and, feeling the anxiety and panic and maybe patterns that had been with them for a long time? What advice would you would give them if they wanted the same results that you've had?
You speak a lot about going slowly at the beginning, and I didn't realize that necessarily at first, but when I got into the aligning part of it, I really recognized how important the calming was. And I even started to try to get another one in during the day,
Mhm.
because I went from like no emotion to now having all these emotions. And I needed to be able to figure out how to do that. And the calming was the key for me.
Yeah. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that because it really is small, significant shifts. But as you were
Mhm.
saying, when we go further, if we have been suppressing things, there's a lot of release of stored emotion and stored stress. So
Right.
you're saying like because you went slow, you had the capacity to move through that and not be overwhelmed.
Yes. I know I've tried in the past to do that, but being dysregulated, there's just no way. And then having like self-critical talking and things like that, I just was not in a place to be able to address those emotions.
Yeah. Has that improved the way you talk to yourself and the way you feel about yourself?
Oh yeah, I know the critical talking has been a challenge for sure, but my voice now is louder than that self-critical voice, and I know how to, dial it back down. So,
Okay. All right, great. What would you say to someone who, I mean, because it's easy, people find me on online or Facebook and they don't know us yet. So of course, feeling maybe skeptical or nervous is really normal. Like what would you say to someone who is maybe skeptical or fearful that it wouldn't work for them?
I know exactly where they're coming from because in my first meeting, my initial meeting, I was exactly like that. But I'm glad that um, the person that I spoke with really was very encouraging. And I felt like, yes, this is the place I need to be. And so I know it was a leap of faith, and it was the best thing that I could imagine that could happen in, 3 months or, longer, however it takes someone. I know for myself, I stayed in the module 2 for a longer period of time. And that was okay because then I was better prepared for module 3. So,
Right. Okay.
yeah.
How soon into it do you think you started feeling better or knowing that not that it was all done, but that I guess you said you hadn't had a panic attack after the first week.
Mm.
But how long would you say before you started feeling some relaxation and feeling that things were feeling hopeful?
I'd say probably around 2 weeks, I started really feeling my body settle down. And and a lot of this was in the midst of a lot of crazy things going on. So I was really excited that I could see that I don't have to be in this state, that I have an answer, I have a way out of this. And so I'd say about 2 weeks, and then it just kind of built from there.
Oh, good. Well, I'm so glad you took that leap of faith. I'm so glad that we were the ones that got to work with you because it's been a joy working with you. Because
Thank
you just
you.
faith. Another thing that holds some people back is feeling like I have a strong faith, I shouldn't need help, or is there going to be something that's so, the field of psychology has a lot of things that aren't congruent with people who, share a Christian faith. Have you found there to be any conflict there, or how has the program worked with your faith?
It's absolutely work with my faith because I came in feeling like I was more disconnected from God and that I shouldn't be. And then once I started calming and um, I was more in tune with what the Bible said instead of just looking at certain verses and picking out all the stuff that I thought applied to me in a negative way and forgetting about the grace of God. So now I'm able to take both those things and in a balanced way. And so I thought it's been phenomenal in that way.
Well, thank you so much for being here and thank you for your participation and what you so happy for your results. and also just, again, really privileged that you chose us and that we got to be the ones to help you. So it's been
Oh,
fabulous having you. So
thank you, Rochelle. Appreciate it so much.
I appreciate you, Vicki. Thanks for being here.
Okay. Bye.